from Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Bomb, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Who Won Wednesday, brought to you by the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. This is episode number 598, but in case you missed it, episode number 597, unless Brian fucked up the numbers, Monday's episode was not covering Raw. It was something different. We got some good feedback from some of the boards, so we're going to continue that format. We did talk a little bit about Raw. We're not getting completely away from wrestling, but we had some real discussions about some things not related necessarily just to the product of Raw, but to wrestling as a whole. The host of Monday that brought that new format to you, with a little help from me and Brian, I'd like to introduce him at the time. This is Rody Rob. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm torn tonight. I'm torn between.
You're torn?
I'm
Natalie Imbruglia?
Not there yet. Let's not do that
That's
yet.
the end of the show.
No.
I'm torn between the fact that tonight for wrestling, I thought both brands brought it, and I really fucking, as a wrestling fan, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. And on the other side, I'm upset because Mitch McConnell and the fucking Senate went on their fucking holiday break and still have not passed a stimulus for all of us, yet 72 million of you stupid motherfuckers still voted him back into office. That's what I'm torn tonight. So that's what I got.
All right, with that, definitely was the fans won Wednesday for sure. Brian, welcome to the board.
Hey, thank you for
The
having
panel,
me, Adam.
the dais.
Yeah, Amadeus. Did you call me Amadeus?
Rock me Amadeus?
Rock me Amadeus. Hello, Rody Rob.
Hey, I'm Crossbuzz, Brian.
What are you drinking? What is that? Labatt's Blue?
No, it's
that's
a
just a
Labatt's
cup.
Blue cup, but I got Jack and Coke in here. Coke
Oh,
Zero.
fair enough.
Coke
All right,
Zero.
good for you.
Yeah.
I'm drinking an AEW because IBC wouldn't give us any money.
You're drinking an AEW.
AEW?
Does it have a brawl in your stomach every 5 minutes?
A-N-W.
A-N-W.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so real quick, tonight's episode is brought to you by MarkedOutGear.com. Marked Out Gear, Brian has recently revamped the website. Go and check it out. We got a lot of stuff for the holidays to keep you warm. Hoodies. If you've got a newborn, you've got some onesies on there. Brian's even got a mouse pad if you're obsessed with me with my picture on it. So I'm not looking very slim back then, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you could have on there. What?
No, okay, I got to break the fourth wall here so I can clown you for a minute.
Oh, come on.
I got to do it, Brian. I got to break the fourth wall so I can clown him for a minute. So
Yeah.
I said before the show, I'm like, dude, can you do me 2 favors tonight? He's like, what's that? I'm like, favor 1, can you actually?
I didn't want to forget.
No. I'm like, dude, can you actually plug one of our profit-making fucking sites? He's like, oh yeah, I really need to do that. I'm like, yeah, you're horrible at that. And I said number 2. Hold on, Adam, hold on. I said number 2, can you please plug our new format for Mondays? And he's like, yeah, I can do that too. So he decides to do both of them in the first 5 minutes of our show.
I wanted to get him out there.
You fucking lazy motherfucker, man.
He's
diligent.
diligent. He didn't want to forget. He wanted to just do it. He wanted to
Thank
get
you,
it
Brian.
diligent.
You know I'll forget.
Oh.
Let's look at my character. I'm going to
you
forget.
fucking sycophant.
No,
Oh,
the
my
fact
God.
that I was supposed to do this for weeks, not the new format on Monday, but the other thing.
Plug our shit?
Right, for weeks, and
Try
I
to
have
make us
forgotten
money?
as the host.
Venmo, Cash App,
I mean, I
nothing.
wanted to make sure it got taken care
Tip
of.
us, thumbs up, subscribe.
We could do a new contest. Whoever
us on
gives us the
Twitch.
most money on Cash App will be Hall of Famer for January's induction.
You know it's worth $20 of your time? Either cash or you fucking hit follow, subscribe, or share. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Boom.
that's as good as cash to us right now.
You do that on YouTube Live or Twitch or the other platforms we're on. But right now, on
I
live
was gonna get there.
with us, Adam, I'm segueing it for you. That way you don't have to worry about too many things at one time, apparently. Who is on our YouTube Live chat board tonight?
You're
Adam.
such a dick. Daniel Price is here. Paragon Hall of Famer Stike Leather. He'll get
Thousands.
joined by somebody in January.
There's thousands.
We also
Yeah,
got
these are just the
Evan
big
Wright
ones.
here. And Rob, you talk about those thousands. There are people that are not here that still follow us, still reply. Anaconda Vice isn't on tonight. Estrada's not on. Hitman's not on.
Wait, you know who's not
and
on?
Don't forget Mr. Phil.
No. He gets a nickname now.
He gets a nickname?
Fucking Phil.
What is it?
Fucking Phil?
Fucking Phil.
With a PH?
That is a terrible nickname.
I love it.
I don't. I
Fucking
think that's
Phil.
horrible.
It looks good.
What do you have
PHUCK.
better?
I mean,
PP?
that,
His name is
to
PP.
me, that's as lame as something like Fly Phil. You got to come up with something like cool, man. Phil's cool.
I'm a dad.
I like Phil.
I'm a dad. Fucking
So you
Phil's
gave him a
pretty cool.
dad nickname?
You know what? Do your show.
Fucking Phil. I like that.
Killing me.
Fucking Phil. I'm gonna call him fucking Phil.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
No,
this
that's
this episode was also sponsored by fucking Phil. Here
I
we
hope your kids
go.
weren't in the car.
God damn it. We have 8 rounds to determine who won Wednesday tonight. So let's just get it going because otherwise we're going to be here all night.
Do it.
First off, we have Mr. Ruff taking on Mr. Gargano for the North American title, proving that it wasn't a fluke or that Ruff's not a joke. On the other side, we have the Battle of the Brothers, the Bucks versus Top Flight. Before we get too far, Brian, where would you like to start?
I want to hear the NXT side of things.
Because you didn't watch. Okay, we're gonna
No,
talk
of course
about
I
Ruff.
watched. I just want to hear it from your mouth.
Oh, okay. So Ruff and Gargano, seemingly having a quality match. Priest comes out right on cue. Rob.
Yeah.
He's standing at the top of the thing. Here, do you want to paint the picture?
What an absolute clinic in storytelling for professional wrestling. I 100% love what NXT is doing with the North American title and this storyline. First, you have the out of nowhere win by Ruff, a la 1, 2, 3 Kid, right? And you've tied all three together. So he's not just a fluke. He's not just a 1, 2, 3 Kid.
And he's not a joke.
Right? Now he's
Right.
in this thing. And now Adam can have his way and get a triple threat because we all know Adam loves the triple threat matches.
Yeah, there's our take, Brian, as I got my triple threat.
That's it. And Brian, this is what I told Adam on this. I'm like, this is how wonderful this storyline is. You took 3 people that either I didn't know and had no interest in, or I knew and had lost interest in, or I knew and had never gained any interest in.
Yeah.
So all 3 of these people now, I am invested into this story. Ruff, Johnny Gargano, and Damian Priest, 3 people that I didn't give a shit if they were on TV or not a couple weeks ago. Now I'm like, I fucking love this.
The
What a
one
great
thing I want
booking.
to ask, does it bother you, though, the whole distraction aspect of it? Do you think that lessens Leon Ruff? I mean, he is a champion.
Well, that's where we're going
Well-
with the setup here is because, the whole Damian Priest going, sorry, kid, and then knocking him out, giving him the victory instead of knocking out Johnny, it sets up because last week they were kind of buddies, but now he's like, yo, you call me a joke. He gave him the slap backstage. I don't think it takes anything away from anyone. I think they've built this right.
Yeah.
And even what he said to Regal at the end, you think I'm a joke? Give me both of them.
No, what I think was
Keep it simple.
What I think was more telling in what he said to Regal was, am I a joke? Take the title, take my contract. And what that tells me is here, he's a little guy. We all see that. But he's a fucking NXT superstar. He's a professional wrestler.
He's a champion.
He's a professional wrestler
Right.
that made it to that level. And goddamn it, he might be skinny and, whatever, but you need to take him fucking seriously. And the fact that they move this storyline from he's a joke, we're going to use him as a prop for this, to no, I'm a legit contender in this.
I bet you Finn
so
Balor and Ruff together weigh less than any of the other champions.
Possibly. But I now see Ruff having legit even if he doesn't win the title, right? Even if it's a triple threat if he loses it, which is more probably likely, and let's be fair. But
He could steal the pin while they're both
He
beating the
could.
hell out
I
of each
think
other.
they're going to take each other out.
he
Yeah.
could. That's possible. And
That's
that would
what the
be,
board's saying.
And that would be great storytelling as well. But if he didn't, now I am more interested in him as a character moving forward with new programs because you set the stage for him here.
Yeah, you turned him into more than just the 1, 2, 3 kid.
I absolutely agree.
At this point, yeah.
You're spot on there. At the end, so we find out obviously triple threat. We're going to talk about the War Games and stuff later, but I think this is going to be happening at War Games, which what was it, December 6th? So we're not that far away. And they clearly built a lot tonight toward that. On the other side, we got Bucks versus Top Flight. Now, when you're talking about NXT, Brian, Gargano could have won tonight and got the title back. Ruff could have won tonight. It was kind of a toss-up, maybe even a 50-50. On the other side, no disrespect to Top Flight, but there's no fucking way they were winning tonight.
No, but this was a
that's the-
non-title match.
It was a non-title match.
It was.
Well, yeah, I mean, regardless, though.
Oh, I never.
Well,
I
if it was
didn't realize
non-title,
that.
I mean, then it's
You didn't
definitely
realize that? You didn't know
more up
that?
in the air.
You thought they just brought somebody
I
in?
thought it was the belts. That's why I was like, "There's no way Top Flight's winning."
Oh, no.
If I knew it was a non-title match, I would have actually believed they might have won.
Well, good job paying attention there, bro.
Yeah.
Well, after the match, Hybrid attacks Top Flight. I assume, Brian, that they have a thing on Dark.
I don't know. I didn't watch Dark yesterday, to be honest with you.
What the fuck good are you? You have one job, goddammit.
What? You didn't say that we were talking about Dark today. You never even fucking talk
We're
about Dark.
talking
sir.
about Dynamite, and this is the opening segment, and you would have had
Okay,
2
hey, you're the
hours to
fucking
get
host
some
that you
research
watch Dark,
done.
motherfucker.
You knew I was going to
Evan
ask
Wright-
this question.
Evan Wright says the match was for the title. I didn't see one way or the other.
I thought it was for the title. That's why I didn't believe it.
I
Anyway,
didn't-
hey, Brian,
Yeah, what?
the Bucks heel or face because they're coming
Yeah.
to aid Top Flight here at the end. They were
I don't know.
faces
That was
before
my-
they won, or heels before they won the title. Now they seem to be face.
I know. That was my biggest takeaway from this whole thing was afterwards, I was waiting for the Bucks to either take them out or like turn on or something. But no, they just fought off TH2 and helped out Top Flight. And then that was it. I was very confused by it as well.
Which puts super glue on my point.
What?
Uh-oh.
Is
What
that the
point?
Bucks have no idea what they're doing.
No,
Week to week.
that's not true.
All they can do is ding, ding, the bell rings. We jump off of ropes and flip around and do double teams. But when it comes to any kind of substantial fucking character build or identity, they absolutely lack, which is why, boys and girls, they could sell a lot of T-shirts and indie shows, but they weren't necessarily going there and playing the big cards.
So Evan and Jay and everybody else are kind of now disputing over whether it was for the titles or not.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It wasn't.
It
for the
just
title.
doesn't matter. No, all right. Let's vote. North American title match or the tag team title non-title match?
I'll go first, Brian, so you can try to defend yourself.
Oh,
I don't think that you can. I don't think you can write wrestling as good as NXT wrote this story and this feud in this program, especially taking 3 guys again. Nobody really had any interest in anymore. Had
Well,
kind
at
of.
least Rob.
well, yeah, you didn't.
I think I speak for the majority.
I think some people probably like
No.
them.
You know, I think they're all getting kind of wary of
No,
them.
somewhere there's a diehard fan of all of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, oh my God, leave Brittany alone. But I think this is textbook professional wrestling writing at its fucking finest. There's no way that NXT loses this first segment. NXT is my vote.
All right, Brian, your vote.
Yeah, Rob, I was shocked that to hear that you would say I'd be defending anything, but to be honest with you, I agree with you. I think that NXT definitely won this first segment out of the 2 of them.
Okay.
Again, if something maybe would have like gone a different way with the Bucks, or if they would have shown something, but no, they're just back to being baby faces, which I was very confused at. And yeah, how can you not love the whole Leon Ruff stuff? So
good.
NXT definitely.
So good. Good.
Rob stole most of the points here, but yes, this is everything that he said is absolutely true. And
Stike Leather said it best on the board. NXT because I am actually invested in this now.
that's what you said, but he said it more succinct. Well,
No, he's
my
just
thing,
smarter than me.
while NXT was amazing, that is also why I get my vote. I'm not going to repeat your points, but
Thank you.
the Bucks flip-flopping, I don't even know what they're supposed to be now. Are they angry heels that kick announcers,
wait.
or are they faces who pander and give new people opportunities?
Doesn't even matter. Did you do a Meatballs reference?
Yeah.
What did you
What'd
say?
you say?
I said it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Man, I'm sorry I missed that. I apologize.
Oh.
I missed it.
I feel you didn't
we
know.
know
Brian.
Brian didn't know it.
I feel ashamed by that. Wow, I'm sorry.
Hey, well,
I
if
mean,
you
it's
guys
a
hate the
Bill
Bucks, I
Murray
mean,
one.
their book is coming out tomorrow. You guys should buy it. Young Bucks killing the business.
Yeah, I'm still reading Obama's book.
Hey, Brian, can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
so
What
we're
do you
going
wanna
on to
know?
round number 2.
We sold T-shirts. Is it like an idiot's guide to setting up a T-shirt?
Brian, here's how you do your website.
We stretched so we could do super kicks.
Round 2, NXT leading. Round 2, we have a little fun segment. You want to talk about making guys interesting or at least characters. I don't really like Cameron Grimes' character or anything, but he's entertaining as hell. I'm not a fan of his, but he stays in his gimmick, and he's very fun to watch. He does entertain me. He's taking on Loomis here, who's just dry as fuck in terms of characters, and they have a blindfold match. And I'm imagining, are they going to do like a Jake the Snake Roberts? Are they trying to do a traditional thing? They book this ahead of time and promote it. And Rob, just like you said before, this is kind of a fun segment. He attacks the referee and then takes his blindfold off and I liked it.
Again, great booking in the sense that Cameron Grimes is the best asset, and as somebody who hated him for forever, I now love Cameron Grimes. When he comes on, I just laugh and I laugh. I don't necessarily respect him as a wrestler. I mean, he's good in the ring, but the character is great. But here's where the booking is great for this. It's not necessarily Cameron Grimes. It's that Loomis is so dry, as you said, and is so lacking in any kind of personality that you can connect to, that you got to find a good gimmick that'll make it work for him. And the blindfold, the bag over the head, that is a great gimmick that works for him. I thought, again, booking, fantastic. I care about Cameron Grimes more on the long haul. I'm still on the other side. But.
And you prolong the feud because the ref's out.
Yeah.
And Cameron Grimes jumped over the rail, Brian.
He did. And I'm surprised that you're actually saying all this, Rob. Man, months ago, you were burying Cameron Grimes.
I was.
And now, I mean, finally, it seems like he had something that he WWE followed up with. Like he's got the whole gimmick with his hat and the vest.
The difference.
Is
the
he
difference,
the
Brian?
Lana of NXT to you,
No.
Rob?
No, you know the difference here, Brian? Here's the difference. So if you take Young Bucks and you take Cameron Grimes and you put them side by side, 5 months ago, they were on equal footing. Sure. And now I care more about Cameron Grimes because they developed his character. And I care less about Bucks because they failed at developing a character.
Wow. Failed.
They haven't even stayed the course with the character.
We're brothers. We jump around and we have the titles now.
Jump. All right. On the other side for AEW, we have this is probably going to be like the unbeatable.
I'm gonna get a drink while he's
here.
talking about this.
Really? You're going to go away from Las Vegas,
Really?
the Inner Circle in Vegas?
I didn't know you were comparing the two. Okay.
Yeah, that's what was next. I'm going in linear order tonight. We have Hager and Wardlow competing all night, beating up random people at one point. The blackjack move with MJF stealing it from Sammy keeps pushing that there. Conan showed up to smoke everybody out. We have a Hornswoggle show up in the closet instead of the baby in the Hangover reference. And Rob, Everclear.
So, Brian, the year was 1998.
Ryan, have you ever had Everclear?
No, not like the real stuff. I know they sell stuff at bars, but not the legit.
Rob's gonna paint you a picture.
So the year was 1998. I was in the Marine Corps.
Happy little trees.
And I was on a float. That's where you get on a ship and you go for 6 months. Basically a booze cruise. It's called a Unitas. So we went down to South America and we went to Paraguay. And went to Paraguay, and we went out to this little block party in Paraguay, and fucking partying with the natives, right? And guy hands me a clear bottle, speaks no English, I speak no Spanish. He says, just drink it. So I start drinking this clear bottle of liquor, thinking, fucking, what are they gonna do to me? I mean, what the fuck ever, dude? I don't remember the next 3 days. Everclear is by far the devil's blood, no doubt about it.
And if that wasn't gimmicked, the amount they drank
they didn't rate me.
Was out of like a little goblet snifter kind of glass.
Yeah, I know you're supposed to pour just barely any and put like a sugar cube or some shit, right?
I know that shit hurt me to watch. I mean, I know it probably wasn't real.
I had flashbacks.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Brian,
did you wake up with a funny man? Did you wake up next to Elvis?
I did wake up next to somebody strange.
Did we notice that Elvis turned into, what's his face?
Yeah, it was Santana.
Yeah, it turned into Santana. Like Elvis disappeared and Santana appeared.
Jericho was walking around with Elvis, then all of a sudden it's Santana when he rounded the corner. Was I the only one who got that? Because I had to point it out to Rob.
I did. I got it when you pointed it out. Brian, I'm curious your take on this because for me, I wasn't sure about these little videos that they were going to do, MJF and you had the fucking Tony Award winning fucking dance number the other day. and you've had debates, and then now you have a Vegas
It's
trip.
different.
It's very different, and it is
very different.
Are you entertained, Rob?
I'm entertained. Brian,
Okay.
are you entertained?
I'm definitely entertained, especially. I mean, obviously they had a lot of fucking what's the movie? I just drew a blank with Zach Galifianakis. Hangover.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ!
a lot of references.
They had so many
Brian made
Hangover
a movie
references.
reference.
What's that?
We should do that. Brian movie reference count 1. He got 1 tonight.
There's 1. Ding.
But Brian, you should look
But
at
he made it himself.
What I like about this wasn't just the obvious comedy segments of it, but the subtleties involved with it. You know, the look on Sammy's face when they were walking down the fucking strip as he's fucking is like, I fucking.
Ortiz was doing the same thing.
Ortiz as well.
Yeah. The same thing with Hager and Wardlow when they beat up dudes.
The way that slowly escalated throughout the segments was cool.
But what I like about it more than that is the story it's telling me is, as somebody who I've had people. Adam's a good example. Somebody who I met at a bar that I did not like initially. I thought you were kind of a dick. I
don't make good first impressions.
You don't. And I've had many other friends like that. I'm the kind of person that likes anybody eventually. But
that's not true.
It's true.
You do not like a lot of people.
No, I hate a lot of people. But
kayfabe.
Me and you became great friends in spite of our initial, my initial hang up.
Jew and an atheist walk out of a bar.
Right. So in this case, I'm looking at the Hager. Sammy. I'm looking at Sammy Hagar. Oh, fuck it. There we go. Sammy Hagar. And I'm looking at Wardlow in MJF, and I'm seeing two guys that went into this hating their doppelganger there and leaving it going, yeah, we got issues, but you know what? We're good.
Maybe with Wardlow and Hager, Sammy was like, I hate you. No, yeah. I legit hate you. He said it many times, Rob.
But then they hugged. Then they did like the man dap hug.
That's what drunk people do. You know, how many times have you said that to someone fucking hammered?
That doesn't mean tomorrow they're not going to still hate each other.
But it was the next morning. That's what I'm saying. It was the next morning. It was within the story. It was, yeah, we got all of our aggression out on each other last night. I still don't really like you, but you know what? We're good for right now until I got a reason to not like you.
Jay Hayes trying to take a position from Stike here. Got a fun fact. Everclear's 180 proof, not 100 like Jericho said.
Ooh. You know what happens when you do concerts for COVID?
Samoa Joe, you take your 30-30 and a third chance minus my 25% chance.
Anyway, let's vote. I think it's pretty easy. The entertainment factor alone. I'm going to lead this one off with Inner Circle. Cameron Grimes was good and stuff, but Loomis didn't hold up his end, in my opinion.
It's a shame. Well, I disagree. I think the gimmick made up for it. It's a shame. I think in any other situation that Loomis and Grimes would have got more love from me on a vote here, but you're going against a heavyweight here.
Segment of the night almost for at least for Dynamite.
Yeah, so obviously AEW.
Right.
Yeah, everything you guys both just said, I exactly agree. Yep.
1-1 tie going into round.
Are we shutting Brian down? Is he not talking?
No, not at all. I think it's because NXT is doing a lot better tonight, maybe. No, well, it's 1-1 right now, I guess,
yeah, it's
right?
1-1. Going into round 3, round 1. This is going to be a good discussion here, I think. We've got Casey Squared. I wrote down on my list. That's Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter, the first and second best Caseys on the rosters. And they're taking on Candice and Indy, who are continuing to build their little alliance. I don't know if it's necessarily a tag team yet, like Casey and Casey are. And then on the other side, we've got Kip and Orange Cassidy. Speaking of not shutting Brian down, Mr. Rob, who talks all the time.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to let you pick your poison here. Where do you want to start?
I'll go make my drink. You do your thing.
Yeah, go make your drink, Rob.
Yeah, we don't need you.
Let's talk about NXT. How about that?
Why don't you make me a drink?
Yeah, make me a drink. I want a drink.
Yeah. Let's talk about NXT then. Because Casey and Casey Squared, whatever the fuck their names are. Caden Carter, Casey Catanzaro, they lose. No, the heels win. They're building Indy here. We'll find out later on tonight, that we're going to go a step further. But Indy and Candice, this is new. It doesn't really hurt Casey and Casey to lose, right, Brian? I mean, it's not a big deal.
Casey and Casey to lose? No, I mean, they're just
Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. I'm doing the initials KC and KC, not the name. I realized that was confused. I realized that was confusing. This
No,
is like
that's not
who's
confusing.
on first.
Wait, who's on first?
Anyway,
Where?
um,
Casey and Caden.
yes.
No, it doesn't hurt them losing. I mean, what would you think happened? I mean, they're kind of a relatively new team, but Candice and Indy Hartwell. I mean, those are both right now
You're building
pieces of
Indy
the-
Hartwell. I mean, Candace is established.
Exactly right. Hey, Rob's back.
And that's
Rob,
what you needed to do. He brought me a drink. That's awesome. Does that
Did he
mean you're
really?
my bitch? On the other side, Kip and Orange Cassidy. Unless I missed it, we had best friends out there. We had Penelope out there. I didn't see the other guy, the best man.
He was there. He was on commentary, and he came in later.
He came out at the
we
end.
didn't have the volume on.
We didn't have the volume on, and you were playing Angry Birds. So it's all
I wasn't
good.
playing
Oh
Angry
my
Birds.
God.
I was not
you
playing
were
Angry Birds.
you were texting people.
You were
I
you
was
were
talking
definitely
to people.
texting.
You were
I
talking
was
to
talking
people.
to people.
Yeah.
You were playing.
So Brian,
Yes, Robert.
I think I'm not going to shit on it like Adam did there because that was pretty shitty.
Shit on what?
Well, the way you presented the AEW side, we had Orange Cassidy.
No. I wasn't shitting on it. I was presenting it.
But your presentation was lacking in any enthusiasm, right? It's just facts, man. It's facts. So I want to say that as a TV feud, this is fine. This is good. I got no problem with the AEW side. I think that
When's the wedding? When's something with Miro going to happen here?
who cares? It's a TV feud. It's not the main story of the program. It's like you want it to compete with all the other program storylines. It doesn't need to. Look,
Right.
Best friends, you're right, Rob. Best friends have had great TV feuds. I'm not arguing that.
Here's my comparison, Brian, is Al Snow. Like Al Snow had some actually very entertaining TV storylines, right, with Boss Man and other people.
Sure.
And head.
And yeah, some head, and everyone enjoyed it, but it was never the main focus of the program. It was never top fucking bill as far as what storyline's going forward. It was always a as if TV storyline.
Syke has my comment. He says, I just don't like how Miro's being booked. He should be a monster and demolishing people.
God, let it go. Let it
No,
go.
I mean he did at the end of it. He came in and knocked
Yeah.
everyone out until Best Friends came in and fucking made the save. So I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
booking.
he'll have his moment. He'll have his time. He's doing. I mean, it's a TV feud. It's just giving him TV time, letting him do something. It's mildly entertaining. He'll have good. He'll build himself up, but you don't need him being. This is what happened with fucking Archer, and then after that with what's fucking swole body. What's his fucking little head? Beetlejuice.
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. He looks like a fucking Beetlejuice guy. He's got the huge body with a little bitty head. But that's what happened with those two guys. They brought him in, tried to make him the main storyline of the program, and then they got beat. And it was like, what the fuck? You just disappointed me. He's not.
No, but Miro doesn't have to go after the belt, Rob. He should be beating people up, not on commentary.
no. Let him
I
do
agree
it,
with
though.
what Will Wagner says. He says
No.
Miro's not meant to do commentary. He needs a mouthpiece.
That's what he did.
He doesn't need a mouthpiece. He just doesn't need to be on commentary.
That's what he did in WWE. Look, that's what he did in WWE. He came in as Rusev, this fucking brute, to get in there and just beat fucking people up. And it was okay for a minute. Then you got tired of it. And then he really
He lost to Cena.
But then he really, it's fine. But then he really started getting that pop, that natural pop, when he lightened up and was just doing fun shit, right? So here we go.
He went face.
We're exploring him now in that element. We don't need the brute. We all know he's big. We all know he can beat somebody's ass. We know that about him. I want something different to make me like
I
him
just
for
want the
another reason.
storyline to go somewhere with him. Is what I'm. I guess what I'm saying.
I think you're being petty and bitchy.
I think you are being a little bit petty, and he actually did
Adam
mention
Petty.
on
Isn't that a
commentary.
person?
Miro did that. The what's it called? The Jesus Christ, the bachelor party is on delay right now. So he actually didn't say when the date is or anything like that. So we don't know when it is.
Maybe it's because freaking Vegas is empty.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, what, Rob?
A good friend of mine for the past 20 years asked me to be his best man the other day. I was honored. I'm sorry to bring the podcast people in on this, but
Is that your brother from another mother?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
I'm excited. I wanted to share that with you. I never get to talk to you anymore, so I just want to tell you.
I got asked to be a best man once, but
Yeah, you were the best man for my wedding that I never had.
We need to go on your bachelor party.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we should. At least I could have.
We decided to go to court,
Well, yeah,
and you were working that day. And
then Brian went away, so we can't even do the bachelor party. Anyway.
Yeah.
Next up,
Mushrooms.
we got to vote. This is a tough one. I think this was the start of something bigger that we're going to talk about on NXT, and because of that consequence, for me, I'm going to have to give the vote there, where I feel like this is just a TV feud on the other side. If you want to go about that, to Rob's point, a TV feud on one side, a push toward a pay-per-view on the other.
All right. I'll defer to Brian.
I'm going to go with NXT.
I'll defer
You're
to
going
you.
with NXT.
I'll
Sure.
defer to you, Brian.
Yeah. I'm going to go with AEW. I thought it was actually a really good match between the two guys. And I do kind of get what you say about Miro and how he should be like a killer, how he should be a monster, but he does all those things in the ring. I think this is awesome that he's showing a totally different side of his personality. So I'm going to go with AEW.
It's kind of a hybrid of the two, the Bulgarian Brood and Rusev.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, and he also includes the whole Twitch thing. Apparently, he is like an actual gamer and all that. I don't really
he didn't
follow
have to
his
shut his
Twitch.
down.
No, not in AEW. You don't. You can fucking have an OnlyFans if you want.
Right.
Oh.
Look,
Fucking Pornhub.
I agree with Brian that
Via Trinidad.
I agree with Brian on all of his points on AEW. Right. I do. I think the development of Rusev in a different direction is great. I thought the TV feud is fine. The match was fine as it was. For me, though, you got number one on NXT, you got the giggity factor, right? And there definitely was a giggity factor there. And two, you do have the build for War Games, which we're going to talk about more. We're going to talk about in more detail later.
Hey, don't blow your wad.
But that is consequence, and that is a major consequence.
Major.
So for me, NXT hands down wins this segment.
2-1 going to round number 4. This one's pretty tough one, especially when you go to consequence. Kushida versus, I missed the guy's name, Brian, in all honesty here. I don't know if you caught it. Me and Rob did not.
Arturo Ruas. It's hard to say. Arturo Ruas.
Okay, well, Kushida won.
Arturo Ruas.
This was probably the one spot of the night, Rob, with NXT that there was really no consequence or build.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old WWF days in the 80s and early 90s where, you just kind of had one of your feature stars come out and beat somebody who wasn't a feature star.
Right.
And it gave them TV time and continued relevance.
We used to see Caden Carter like this, about a year ago, 6 months ago.
I mean,
she started off like that.
But Kushida's got more of a backstory and behind him than she did at that time, so a little bit different.
No. I'm talking about the whoever Brian just said Kushida faced.
Arturo Ruas.
Oh yeah, everybody starts in that kind of role,
Right? Yeah.
So for me, yeah, it's fine. It was a good match. It was a time filler. No big deal. Move on.
All right. His name was Major Consequence. He's a Sergeant Slaughter protege, is what DP says. I don't know if that's real or just a joke.
No, that's a joke.
Okay. On the other side, you want to talk about consequence. We saw a vignette from John Moxley talking about his dad and fighting 16 years, and then he says he's got a pregnant wife at home. Just drop that there. We cut to Omega and Tony in the ring doing a contract signing, and we find Mox lying in the back. I want to talk a little bit about this because I think that Paige attacked him. Ryan, what was your guess?
Man, I think it's honestly too tough. It's too early to say.
But if Paige wants to get into the match to make my triple threat dream, this would be
true.
A way to do it.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I guess that does make sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Paige. If I had to pick right now, I guess that would be it. But I honestly, I like this whole promo. I like that. Also, Moxley wasn't like comically fucked up. Like his nose was just a little like bloody. That's kind of that's realistic. That's what would happen.
He
wouldn't be like trapped under a fucking garage door like Nick Jackson was that one time. But
right. Oh my God, there's a steamroller over top of him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's flat like the guy at the end
Rob?
of Roger Rabbit.
Look.
You know who that was, Brian?
Oh,
Roger Rabbit. Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Who was flattened at the end of Roger Rabbit?
Oh, I don't remember.
Wow. The
Christopher
judge,
Lloyd,
bro.
man.
The
judge.
The judge.
You're so
Christopher
terrible.
Lloyd? I don't remember. I
What was
remember
it-
the movie when
What
I
was
was
the
little. You
NXT
guys were
side
like,
again?
what,
We got distracted.
40?
Kushida.
Okay.
I mean, it's hands
Arturo
down.
Ruiz.
Okay.
I mean, you want to talk about consequence and everything, Rob. It's hands down AEW.
What was
here.
the AEW side again?
Mox, Omega, the contract
Oh,
signing.
no, okay. So I just
Who
want
do
to say,
you think attacked Mox?
I just want to say
What
this.
we were discussing.
Yeah, and I want to jump on that. Is that I thought initially, very obviously, and not in a bad way, but very obviously Omega. But when Adam suggested to me Hangman,
Hitman.
I
You got
thought
Hitman on your brain?
I suddenly loved it even more. Like, I'm so desperate to have you like me, my old friend, that I'm gonna do this shit for you. Which
That's
is
what you said, but I don't know if it's that way.
no, that he and
I think it's you took my spot. I want in.
no, and when eventually Omega doesn't, reciprocate the, thank you, I appreciate you, thank you for helping me, whatever, and he actually says I don't fucking need you, then Hangman fucking goes ballistic on him, and it goes even worse than it already did. I like what you presented. I hope that's it. I'm gonna be happy either way. I think it's very obvious that Hangman is good. The only problem here, I think it's very obvious Hangman is gonna win the title.
At some point, Omega, you mean, is going to win.
I mean, Omega. I'm sorry, Omega. Omega is going to beat Moxley for the title.
Yeah.
Very obvious.
Mox is dropping it. That's for sure.
Well, he's about to have a kid. And they spoiled that tonight, so now you know. Okay, so
they didn't spoil that. That was cool. Brian,
No,
you agree AEW wins this, right?
I'm saying that they presented that tonight. Hold on, I'm sorry, Brian. Hold on.
TikTok motherfucker
They
trying to get through the show.
I know they presented that tonight, which puts it in place. Well, okay, then he's going to be leaving because he's having a kid, so he's going to lose.
Well, not only that, he also mentioned that he has to go back to Japan and defend his United States title.
Defend his honor.
For New Japan.
Right.
So he also has that responsibility too. But we haven't taken into account that it could potentially be. We already have Shaq showing up. I mean, this could be Charles Barkley. Maybe he fucking jumped in and
That'd be
beat
terrible.
the shit out of him,
That'd be
right?
terrible.
Sir Charles, he's a badass.
Terrible.
Will Wagner's got a better version, Brian. He says Marty Scurll was just released from ROH. He thinks he could be the one to blame for Paige's phone and everything else they need a villain for.
Yeah, but he's
Would you
kind of like
please?
Kitty Diddler, sort of, in a way.
Kenny Dib? What'd you say? What it was?
Kitty Diddler?
Wasn't he on Full House?
No,
Kenny
he wasn't
Gibbler?
Kimmy Gibbler. He was a Kitty Diddler.
Okay.
Good. AEW
Good?
wins
What?
here.
Yeah,
It's
AEW.
2-2.
No, I don't want. He should stay away from AEW.
2-2. Here's a tough one. We're gonna have a good discussion here with this round number 5. We have Pac versus Blade on one side. We have Ember, Tony, Dakota, and Gonzalez. That's the second half of the War Games build. I want to go to that one second. Let's start with Blade and Pac here. I kind of called this last week, Brian. I think the writing on the wall was obvious. Pac's back. Death Triangle never got off the ground. Eddie Kingston's got a 5-person faction. That's too many. What do they do next? Divide and fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this made sense booking. I still like the way it all happened.
Yeah, and also having Kingston on commentary too, he's fucking gold. Him just dogging on Shivani and talking shit with JR. I love it. But yeah, this all makes
I do
sense.
like
And even
him.
the booking for next week too, where it's going to be Butcher and Blade against Pac and who is it? Phoenix or it's either Phoenix or one of the other guys.
Penta?
Or Penta.
Well, that'd be a good match.
Not sure. That would be a good match.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole setup was this was a great match, and I like that Blade was getting a nice little rub from having a match against Pac.
Also, Butcher got to 4 kicks before he had to get on the ground.
Oh my God, that dude was fucking blown.
No, he wasn't. What are you
This is
talking
the
about? His hair
Butcher,
is
and
flowing, it's
I'm a little blown up,
beautiful.
but you did okay. All right.
Pac
Right.
looked awesome. He
Butcher
looked
was
so good.
Butcher was so drunk.
Yeah,
No.
Daniel Price is
Very-
being critical. Pac and Blade was all right. Lots of botches. That's for the All Elite
Lots
Hour.
of
We're
botches? What are
talking
you
about
talking
the
about, lots of
consequences
Yeah,
and stuff
All
afterwards.
Elite Hour with Brian and his cohorts. They're gonna go, move by move in that shit.
There you go, Rob. I plugged 3 things.
You did. Wow, look at that. You even did it like later in the show. I'm
Right?
proud
Spread it
of
out.
I
you.
got my plug checklist over
I
here.
thought the would he hit him with the chair or wouldn't he was fucking obvious and lame. Just
I
wanna
thought he
put that out
should.
there.
I thought he should have actually hit him,
I just
not chase him off. But
Yeah.
I guess you got to build somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe Kingston didn't take any blows tonight because he can't. Maybe there's an excuse
giggity.
from the other match.
He
I
can't
don't know.
get it up.
On the other side, check this fucking tape, Rob. There's probably nothing I hate more than a meaningless women's tag match. But in the end, this becomes not meaningless. We got Ember and Tony against Dakota and Gonzalez. Raquel and Dakota have been together for a while, so we already got that established. Ember and Tony, they both attacked. That's how we're setting this up. But in the end, Tony and Ember win, but Candice and Indy come out. You want to talk about consequence? I think you just got your team, Dakota, Raquel, Candice, and Indy on the heel side for War Games for the girls. And on the other side, obviously, Tony, Ember, Shotzi, because she's got it with Candice. And then we talked about who the fourth could be. We threw Zaya's name in there, and then with Rhea losing tonight, could she be in there? Or because that would leave Io out in the cold. I feel like maybe unless there's some new opponent that we don't know about for Io, I doubt she gets left out of the cold of War Games, but she could. And then maybe Rhea's the fourth on the team. But I definitely think that we found out the heel team right here. We have all four of them out there attacking the two that are going to join Shotzi's team.
You know, I think you got to look for on both sides, Brian. Is you got to look for that person that's going to be the high risk taker on each team. Candice LeRae is clearly the one on the heel team that's going to take the high risks, right? The top of the cage jumps and shit like that,
like Io did last year.
Right. So do we look at the face side as they have it now? Is it going to be Ember? I mean, she's capable.
Shotzi.
Shotzi would be the one for that.
To me, Shotzi.
Okay, so that doesn't.
Out of the ones we know are going to be on there,
doesn't-
Tony, Ember, and Shotzi, I say Shotzi.
So that doesn't reveal who the fourth person could be then. So that argument's moot.
Right.
I feel like it's gonna be Rhea. I mean, she did lose, like Adam said. She lost tonight.
Right.
What else is she gonna be doing?
And she's also had beef with Raquel in the past, so you could kind of reignite that in some kind of way and bring her into the fold.
It matches the teams up physically by having her on the other team.
I just got to put it out there. The team is not the women we just named. The team is Hunter, Shawn, and Regal. That is a team. Because this match solidifies what we talked about for the rest, for all the stuff beforehand on NXT. Is NXT is giving you textbook and wonderful, outstanding fucking booking of storylines and setting up for a pay-per-view in such a wonderful and exciting fashion. NXT is showing AEW and WWE and whoever else wants to watch exactly how it's done. It's unfortunate.
You ain't lying.
It's unfortunate the other two brands are not paying attention. Because where AEW might get better ratings on Wednesday, I won't deny that. NXT, their product right now at this moment, and I understand the past takeover was garbage. I get that.
You're talking about 30. 31 was okay.
The Vince moment. Right now, NXT is doing it right. They did like we always talk about, Brian, is that each week they segment one of their divisions, highlight and build. And tonight they highlighted and built their women, but they didn't leave out the other divisions either. They gave exciting North American and the men's war game
and Finn.
I
mean, you everything but cruiserweight got attention tonight,
and which I have no problem with.
Something's got to be left out of the cold.
Cruiserweight never even really goes on NXT that much. It doesn't.
It's always that's NXT's biggest failure is their cruiserweight division.
And Brian, just in case you're keeping track at home, there were 13 women who were shown on NXT tonight.
Yeah, I think that's you guys nailed it. That's the big
13 women were put on the card tonight.
AEW and I mean even to an extent Raw and SmackDown in NXT they just know how to build their women, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, once they get pulled up to Raw or SmackDown,
it's not just about the women. You're missing Rob's point. Is they showcase a division each week. They don't just leave the others out in the cold. They give them something. Maybe one like the cruiserweight got cut tonight, but they know how to keep your focus, not force it down your throat every week or not give you 2 women at a time. They gave you 13 tonight. You want to talk about a focus on a division? They did that, and they told good stories to set up their pay-per-view. Everything that Rob just said, it might have been a diatribe, but he's fucking dead on.
So I got to pull this from Facebook real quick because I didn't consider this. But Rhea losing to Io tonight, a former champion losing to a champion tonight.
Oh, SmackDown needs members for the Survivor Series.
This could be a call up for Rhea. And I know we pull that card so much, Brian, but it's
because they're not on a cycle like they used to be, where we knew this time of year is when someone would get called up. You know, like after SummerSlam.
Right.
You're talking about their cycle, Adam. What the fuck?
You know,
They used to have a cycle.
They do sync up. They do sync up.
Oh,
What?
God
Are we talking
damn
about
it.
wrestling? What are we talking about?
Get your head out your vag.
Oh, son of a bitch.
All right, so let's vote, guys. We've covered them. The consequence out the ass. Yeah, you built a nice storyline for a TV feud on the AEW, but NXT gets it for me.
NXT.
You know what? For the sake of AEW and Eddie Kingston sounding like what's his face, Tracy Morgan. We haven't talked about that.
Dude, pull
I'm gonna vote for AEW. I know it doesn't matter. They already lost.
Pull the AEW dick out of your mouth sometimes,
I
Brian.
can't. I'm contractually obligated.
All right, moving on. Brian gave us a pity vote.
Hey, real quick, speaking of Brian, I do want to, while we're thinking about it right now, Brian,
dragging this. Then you're
I'm
going to yell at me later.
Sorry, shout out to Brian real quick. Brian got announced this week as the new ring announcer.
Dun, 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 dun.
For where, Brian? Spill it, man.
Yeah, this is for Global Syndicate Wrestling. It's a new promotion. The first show is going to be in Jersey. Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, we don't know. It's a crazy world right now, but it's scheduled for early February of next year. And right now, there's Alex Hammerstone, Shaul Guerrero, Ricky Reyes were just announced. So lots of people being announced, and I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it because hopefully. I mean, it'll be a little bit more just kind of normalcy, you know? It'll be back to normal. So,
Brian, I'm fucking proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Good job, Brian. And I got to shout out somebody else agrees.
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this.
Hell yeah, he does.
Even Roddy's on board for you. Great job. The picture of Rob with menopause is sponsored by Tampax, DP says on the board.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either, but you get a coin just for insulting Rob. We're moving on. We've got a 3-2 lead for NXT. Round number 6. Thatcher versus, again, I don't know. Rob said he was mini Mark Marrow in a time machine.
No, he mini Mark Marrow before he started working out.
At the end of that match, Ciampa shows up. He wants to challenge Thatcher. We find out backstage. Okay, that gives something for them to do, I guess.
Don't care.
Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. Oh, we got 2 women on the show. But guess what? They're not even on this roster. Wait, is Serena Deeb is? Okay, so she is, but she's the other roster's champion.
correct.
Okay, yeah, this is all fucked up.
You're lame.
Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, a good match for a while. Then Rebel comes out, distracts Audrey. Britt comes out, attacks. Let's be honest. Fucking Thunder Rosa lost, but Serena Deeb didn't even know she was capitalizing on that opportunity. What I have a huge problem with here, Mr. Bryan, is why the fuck after the attack and after the match ended is Britt hanging out ringside to get attacked?
What do you mean? What do you mean just hanging out? What do you mean? She was there. She was watching the match. She was shouting.
She attacked and ran back down the tunnel, and then she's going to act like it wasn't like a mystery attacker. Thunder Rosa knew who attacked her.
Sure.
So why would you sit right ringside to get retaliation? Wouldn't you, especially with Britt's character, wouldn't you be miles from there?
I've gotten a fight in a bar and went back and hung out at the bar later.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think it was a power move. That's
This
what she was
is
doing.
30
she was claiming her
seconds later.
territory.
I mean,
Yeah.
pitter patter.
Anyway.
Tomato,
Yes,
tomato.
the board is correcting my mistake on D being signed. My bad, guys. Rosa Britt is what they're setting up. Yeah, Thunder Rosa and Britt is what they seemingly set up, which is weird because the other's the champion. Why wouldn't they set up Britt with the champion?
Because she's got to work her way there.
And the champion is signed to AEW.
Right.
Well, the champion. Are you talking about Sheeta right now?
No. I'm talking about Serena Deeb
you're
as the
talking about Serena
champion.
Deeb.
Yeah,
Okay,
why
okay,
wouldn't
okay.
Britt go against her? Why the Thunder Rosa instead? I think I would be more for this if Britt attacked Serena Deeb and was clearly going after the NWA title.
I think Serena Deeb is more or less signed. I think she's going to sign eventually. I think it's just not something
regardless
they've
of
announced
if
yet.
you would go after the champion here, Brian. If Britt is not going after Sheeta she should go after the other champion that they're featuring.
No, this is just another TV feud. No.
Yeah.
Okay, but
why can't that just be a TV feud?
You should have. You're missing my point.
I am
Britt,
too.
of the two people she comes out and attacks to choose from, should choose the champion, not the girl not on the roster. Thunder Rosa.
I don't know. Maybe she's got some unsettled beef with
God
Thunder.
damn, you're impossible to get a point
What?
there too. With all that said, AEW gets my vote. I'm not a fan of Thatcher. Sorry.
Yeah, if you could think of one, if you could say, hey, do you like Ciampa? Yeah, I love Ciampa. I mean, you enjoy all of his work? I mean, I love his work. I love his build. I love his character. Oh, yeah? So who's the one guy we could book him against that you would suddenly lose interest in him? Oh, let's see, Thatcher. Oh, well, then let's go ahead and do that. Because here's Thatcher, the guy who does his little programs at his school where he taps people out. But every time he has a fucking match, he taps out. So, yeah, don't care about NXT on this one. Don't even like the build. Don't even like the TV feud. I mean, you got me liking Cameron Grimes more than you do like having me like Thatcher or fucking Ciampa in this situation.
Even Priest we like more than Thatcher.
The story, which I don't know what all your brutal fucking backwards ass talk was about the AEW side. I thought you were just reaching for something to bitch about, completely honest. I think that you had a good wrestling match, and the point of all of it was just to present Britt Baker as a threat in the division, period, full stop, end of story.
In the wrong division.
Well, that's fine, but that's what happened, and that's what showed. And Britt Baker laid a fucking nasty fucking move on old girl, the swinging neck breaker outside the fucking ring. Nasty fucking move. She looked good. She's been fucking hot to trot. It's clearly a way to build her up as a contender to eventually take the title as a heel. I like it. AEW gets my vote.
Wow.
AEW's up 2-0 on the voting here, Brian, but do you want to seal the deal?
Yeah, I mean, I'll seal the deal. Although I have to say, I have to give a shout out to on the NXT side because I actually do really like Timothy Thatcher.
You would.
And August Gray, aka Anthony Green, he's actually really good. He was in Evolve for a while. But
Protein.
I think you're wrong too. I think Thatcher is the perfect opponent for someone like Ciampa because they're gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm still gonna vote for AEW because I do like them pushing the women, even though they're not signed technically.
But there's no emotion to the story.
Yeah. All right, so
they're trying. They're trying.
Brian,
What?
while you're on your stupid train, we find out tonight. This isn't really a voting segment, but it's brought up here. We find out tonight that Anna
Brought to you by
Jay,
PhoenixFit.com, marked out 15 for 15% off your order.
we find out that Anna Jay has reached the top 5 in the rankings. So what does that get you?
Oh my God, it's so stupid.
You get a title shot. Why
is so
go to the number 1, 2,
fucking
3, or 4
stupid.
contender? Let's go to number 5. No disrespect to Anna Jay, but what the fuck with the goddamn ratings again?
Brian, do you want to go? Because I'm going to fucking go off. So
Rob's gone off enough tonight. Brian, I want to hear you.
I'm still
going
to go off
defend
after
this.
he's done.
You get the rebuttal.
That's fine. I mean, the matchmakers in
Your counterpoint.
AEW,
Let him
okay?
make the point.
Anna Jay, she's in the top 5 of the rankings, okay?
We're not arguing that.
No one's arguing it, right? That's a fact.
That's a fact.
I mean, there's no problem with her challenging Sheeta and Sheeta accepting the challenge. She's a fighting champion. Why is that getting you agitated?
They didn't have Sheeta accept the challenge. They announced that she was fighting for it. Sheeta wasn't there.
Because the champion, and I can go back to the 80s with fucking champions then that would say, when somebody would say, I'm number 5. Terry Funk. Terry Funk challenges Ric Flair after the Steamboat match that I always reference. And Flair says to him in the ring before the pile driver on the concrete, says to him, well, we have a ranking system, and I understand you want me, but you got to work your way up to face me. So in this situation, AEW has done nothing but tout their fucking, we're like sports, we got a win-loss record, and we got a top 5 or top 10 division, what the fuck ever. Never, not once, ever, at all, fucking not at all have they ever used their top 10 ranking system for any fucking storyline to work towards a title match. And now you have the number 5 contender going against the champion, where the champion should say, no, I only face the number 1 contender. You are beneath me until you make it to my level. You are not there. Number 5, you need to fight number 4. This AEW
Stike's saying the same thing, bro.
AEW's failure on their ranking system is an utter fucking disgrace to their word.
Yeah, you don't have
Sorry,
to.
Brian.
You don't have to use win-loss records. Like in basketball, somebody with 3 losses could be a top 5 team.
Look, I don't care about that.
No, I'm just saying, like you can. That's not the problem. It's to have a ranking system that you don't give a fuck about, Brian. It's very simple there.
Yeah, look, I don't.
And let's not forget. I want to bring this up here. Shaq's girl, female Shaq, attacked Brandy.
Are you cutting me off on that topic? I mean, we were getting into it.
You went so you. Okay, go ahead.
We're having a conversation.
It's not. It's a monologue.
No, it's not. It doesn't matter if it is. It's a fucking show. People want to listen. I'm just saying, you pulled a Brian there. You could take the fucking win-loss record, Brian, completely fucking out of it. I don't even care about that. I honestly don't care about it. I honestly do not care about it because they don't use it.
Well, you guys don't watch UFC. I mean, it's not like the number 1 contender always has a fight against the fucking champion.
Why isn't fucking 10? What's his fucking name now?
Sean Spears.
Why isn't Sean Spears number 1 contender with a 15-1 record? Why isn't he the number 1 contender? Yeah. If the records mean something.
Because it's on Dark.
Hey, here's one, Rob. Will Wagner says, AEW, where you don't have to be head of the line, you just have to fart in the room. That's kind of funny.
I like AEW. Their touting of their record system and their top 5,
also
our top 10 is a fucking joke because they do not honor it in any kind of way.
And Brian, real quickly,
and it's an easy
Will
storyline.
Points out for UFC, they're only allowed to fight 4 times a year.
Easy bookings.
So sometimes they have to spread that out. There's a reason there.
Yeah, and we watch UFC. I understand if somebody's got 50 fucking win, or it's UFC. I'm sorry, 12 wins and 0 losses. Yeah, they're gonna get a fucking title shot.
He's an angry elf.
I'm not an angry elf. I'm pointing out something about AEW that absolutely fucking irks
but
me.
AEW with the rankings though, hey Rob, it's just it's a fucking gimmick, bro. It's a bro.
Exactly,
like,
but if you're gonna if you say we're gonna have a chair match, people hit each other with chairs. If you say we're gonna have a ranking system, they use the ranking system. Don't tell me that's the big selling point. You know what? We're AEW. We're gonna do this, and this, and guess what? We're also gonna have. We're gonna have a ranking system. We're gonna keep records, and guess what? We're not gonna use them at all.
Heading into round number 7, we're tied at 3.
I've been drinking.
NXT comes with their main event, Io and Rhea. We're going to talk about the fallout and stuff that happened after that match in round number 8. And round number 7 on AEW is the tag match, Cody and Darby against Team Taz. Again, we're going to separate the fallout that happened after that match for round number 8. So round number 7 is just the 2 matches, Io and Shida, and the tag match on the other side. I want to start with the tag match. I just got to say, maybe this is petty, but the Tony Starks, the Starks, whatever the fuck his first name is, I'm drawing a blank. Ricky Starks against Darby Allin feud has played its course to me. Team Taz has not connected in the way that I thought it would when it first started, and it's kind of gotten a little drab. Cody is definitely not on my hot list here. So this was a tough match to get myself into, Rob, while I'm watching Io and Rhea, characters that have been built right, that have a reason for fighting. Charlotte was around when Io got the title there.
And they're hot.
And Rhea's had to take a long road to get back here. I thought this was worthy of War Games, and so did you. You didn't even realize it was tonight and not at War Games.
Right.
But I don't want to dismiss, because we'll talk about, again, the fallout that happens after the match later, Brian. But is there something I missed here? Cage pinning Darby, the champion. How does that set up Ricky in line for the title? This just feels like a booking fail, kind of.
I mean, I don't know if it was a booking fail necessarily, but this outside of what happened afterwards, I mean, it was an okay match. I kind of want them to move on from what they're doing, but I mean, with what happened afterwards, I feel like that's not where they're going. I feel like it's just gonna continue on. Also, we didn't even talk about the fucking weird promo beforehand with Darby lighting himself on fire. I'm just not. Those don't do anything for me. That's not. I don't understand
and the
why
fact that he's the champion is kind of weird.
Fine. What'd you say?
And the fact that he's the champion right now, and it's supposed to be considered the top champ.
Yeah, I don't know. But the match itself was okay. But again, I mean, Cody's. What is he doing? He's not. I thought he was going to heel.
Yeah,
path,
you
but
have
now
your
he's
champ
kind of floundering.
lose. You have your former champ tagging with him. The whole thing feels weird.
It is weird.
On the other side, Rob, Io and Rhea put together a great little match. I love the almost count out that we see way too often be for no reason, but here it ends up in a perfect spot for Io to hit her finisher. I'm not trying to fast forward through the match, but I mean, that was a hell of a finish.
First, let me address AEW very fast, very quickly. The dude that, what's his name, that fucking turned at the end?
No, that's the next segment.
Oh, that's
not part of this.
Oh, it's not part of it?
I very clearly explained
part of okay, well, fuck. Io and Ripley, great match with two fucking ring generals of their level, and
no question
at all. The fact that it was a clean one was great. The way that it happened was great. Io getting the win over Rhea, who was such a dominant force early on, really solidifies, I think, Io as even a better champion that she was.
It legitimizes their title run that much more. And you said maybe a call-up.
And possibly a call-up. And
it looks like it at the end.
Right.
Like how she was acting.
And on the other side, the AEW match, that should have been the curtain jerker.
Yeah.
So
it didn't have the – well, with the fallout, let's vote real quick. I've got to go Io and Rhea.
Yeah.
Match alone, I'll go NXT, sure.
Okay,
match alone.
Yes, that's what that's what we're talking about here.
I'll let it go.
Because here's the fallout on the end for AEW. After the match, we see them gang up like they always do on Darby. Cody tries to make the save, no good. Hobbs comes out and grabs the FTW belt. We're thinking, oh, okay, we're going to set up another six-man tag. That one that never happened because Archer had to get quarantined. We're going to do it now instead with Cody and stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to be like that. I am the way that I am.
Go ahead, man.
And this was kind of a shocking moment. But at the same time, Brian, I don't think Team Taz has been booked right to begin with. To get a new member, that doesn't move their needle anymore for me.
I don't know if it moves the needle. I think you're right in that aspect, but it does move the needle as far as it helps Will Hobbs in the scope of things in AEW because he kind of came out of nowhere.
He benefits, but who? I mean,
well, I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build their own stars. I mean, you look at what Jericho's doing with everybody, and they're trying to. This is just another way of doing it with Will Hobbs.
These are all dark guys.
The fail.
But they're moving them up.
The fail here, Brian, is not that Hobbs flipped. Right? That's fine. The fail is that they have to, if they're trying to build him, they got to build his personality. This should have been a curtain jerker match, number one. And number two, Hobbs should have been ringside and then turned on fucking Cody and Darby. Not the end of the night main event after the match is over, then decides to turn on them. Why? What's the purpose?
And this is how you end your show.
This is how you end it. It's not a big enough heel turn to end my show on.
Well, and you haven't established him, to Rob's point, enough for us to care about, one, him joining Team Taz, two, him turning, and all the rest. And on the other side for AEW, you have Finn come out, Team Make-A-Fuck comes out, and they want to, put their stamp on Finn. And you have a page from the AEW playbook to end on a brawl, but you have a legit brawl. You have a reason for it, and you have Undisputed returning to just fucking lay waste. I loved every second about the end of NXT.
Now, you cannot say that because AEW brawls it's chaos. It's absolute chaos.
This was a little bit chaos. It was frenzy.
No, this wasn't chaos. This was one specific faction against another with a return element and a surprise element.
And I like that Kyle was matched up with Dunn. Of course, Cole and McAfee are going to pair up, and then the Fish and Roddy. This was a great setup. Again, we find out earlier, in the night that obviously we knew, but we find out officially War Games. And this was a good opening. It looks like we've got the heel team built on the one side and most of the face for the women. Now we've got the two factions that we see. And McAfee, I hate you so much that I'm looking forward to this.
Dude, first off, let me say that Brian, their interactions when they started brawling in the ring was great because no one was doing heroin. Everyone was doing fucking top spots during their brawl. Number two, I see people on the board right now are shitting on the fact that Finn was involved in that. Why did he need to be there? What's the purpose? I thought it was a perfect setup. McAfee's coming in as if he is, big dick ding-along, walking up in there. I rule this place now. Finn's going, well, that's fine. You might think that. You're not better than me. But by the way, before you can even touch me, you got to deal with fucking these guys. I thought it was
you got to wait in line.
Absolutely brilliant setup to keep Finn relevant as a title, as a champion, as he heals, and saying, here, deal with my lightweight first.
Yep.
I also like how they
how many coins you
went
for that,
into
Rob?
it. They went into it like right after the women's match. Like Finn just grabbed the mic and he was up there and just started going into it. I love the transitions between the two.
Yeah. Here's what Rob gets for that one.
Just the bad boy Joey Janela, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, Rob was holding up an L sign for loser. I knew he meant Joey Janela, who, by the way, looks out of shape on Dark.
Does he? You don't watch Dark. You don't know. You don't know that.
Fat boy.
All right, so we have a 4-3 lead here. We have a setup for War Games against a Will Hobbs turn and joining Team Taz.
Yeah, NXT.
Yeah, NXT's got
man.
5-3 tonight, and everybody on the board, you can get your marked outs and your petties ready. We're going to find out right now who won Wednesday. I'm going to start with my case, guys. War Games and a lot of builds. You got a triple threat there for the North American that was built for the right reasons, not like my meaningless triple threats I always want. You've got a heel team and an almost face team formed for the women's War Games. You've clearly got make-a-fucks against Undisputed. And we may find out in the coming weeks if Finn's going to fight somebody or maybe he's left out. If Io's going to have another challenger, if Rhea's going to be in the match or if she calls up. There's still a lot to come, but they teased just enough of it to get you there. My vote's NXT, not just in the score 5-3, but overall in the night, they did a better job. Brian, you want to go next?
Yeah. You know what?
Rob
This
break
doesn't
the
happen
tie.
often. So take it for what it's worth. I'm gonna have to vote for NXT on this one.
You hear
I
that,
honestly
Phil?
do. I thought. What'd you say?
Sorry.
Fucking Phil.
I wanted to make sure
fucking
Phil heard that.
Yeah. It's all for you, Phil. It's all for you. No, honestly, this start to finish, this was a really, really good book show. With fucking the whole stuff with the end, and I know I talk shit about McAfee and stuff, but they are building War Games. It is intriguing how they're doing it. And now we have Undisputed Era back in the fold too, so that was kind of a nice surprise. Finn is back, which is cool too. He looked a little skinny though. I don't know. It probably
He's
because
been
his jaw was
drinking
all
out of a
wired.
straw, motherfucker.
I know, man. That fucking sucks. So
Meat
I'm gonna give my
shakes.
vote to NXT. NXT wins Wednesday for me.
If only you had a bad jaw instead of bad hips. All right.
Yeah, no,
2
right?
votes for NXT, Rob. You don't get to break the tie, but I still want to hear what you have to say.
So AEW tonight seemed very, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but blah. They didn't advance anything that wasn't already obvious. They didn't wow me in any kind of way. I don't think the booking was in any kind of way even what's the word I'm looking for? Even on par for what should be on television. Right, I just did not. I'm sorry to say that. NXT tonight nurtured every division in their company,
Except for Cruiserweight.
Except for Cruiserweight, you're right about that. even if you wanted to make the argument about tag team titles, I was going to say, they still have their tag team champs involved in a major storyline. They nurtured the fuck out of all of their stories. They built characters. They developed programs. They made you interested in almost every single thing they had go tonight. I loved NXT, and I'm going to say this for the record. When NXT does a woman heavy episode, women's division heavy episode,
It's usually a really good episode.
they always
You're right.
win.
It's a great point.
NXT didn't just beat AEW tonight. If you're a wrestling fan, NXT dominated AEW tonight.
With a women-centric
Well,
show.
Yes,
The ratings
dominated.
will tell
Times
the
are
truth.
changing.
Rob.
Ladies can do stuff now,
What'd you say, Brian?
and you're
I
gonna
said the
have to learn
ratings
how
will
to
show.
deal with that.
The ratings will show.
Well, no, I don't think the ratings will show. I don't. I think because there's too many people like you, my friend, that will be sycophants and love AEW no matter what kind of crazy shit they do or say.
So what are you going to say? That even though the AEW's ratings are higher, you're still going to say that NXT wins the vote?
Works for the president.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What was it? Staygate.
Staygate.
So here we go. Let's go to the awards. We got marked out moment. We've got Petty Towns.
Sorry, I ran us late. I ran us late tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Marked out for me on the NXT side. Shotzi, not with just the War Games announcement, but the A-Team like promo where she's building her tank, her new tank, Rob.
That's fucking great.
And on the AEW side, I'm gonna go very simple. I know it's cheesy, but congratulations, Renee and John. You get my marked out there. Good luck to you guys. Rob, marked out.
I would definitely say Shotzi's tank, but since you already said it, I'll do something else. Adam Cole's fucking big boot to McAfee.
Not that big.
Okay, it's a tiny boot.
Full kayfabe. These are the two moments of the night that Rob broke out.
I
for.
legit
the
marked out.
tank in this one.
The tank and this moment are yes, legit. I marked out when I don't know if McAfee sold the fuck out of that or if Adam Cole fucking
Connected. He connected.
connected stiff as fuck on that. But that was fucking amazing. Hell yeah, it had me feeling like a fan again. I love it. AEW. Let's see here. So I got can I do two for AEW?
Sure, Medine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
I appreciate that, guys. So one is going to be the Britt Baker attack. I love seeing Britt again getting involved and unexpected at that moment made me mark out. But also, man, there was a foursome in the hallway that just had me absolutely in myself. So yeah, Brandy and Red Velvet. Who else was there?
That the chick that's with Shaq.
No, not her. She's
Jade Cargill.
she's a butterface.
Oh, she's not. What are you talking about?
The one with Shaq.
She'd be good in a five-way.
She's a
Beautiful woman.
She'd be good in a five-way.
She's the last call for alcohol, man.
No,
She's the last call
five-way.
for alcohol.
I've had a two-way before.
Sorry. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I would.
You've had a one-way for a while
I've
there,
had a
Brian.
one-way.
When I was single, it'd be all day, but not anymore.
Yeah, Brian in quarantine.
Go away, Peyton.
Brian, what's your marked outs?
Marked out for AEW is actually marked out for the wrong reasons. During when Excalibur was promoting the AEW heels during the women's match, JR immediately afterwards asked if they had bake sales at those events, and I thought that was very. I feel like JR is going to get some shit for that. I marked out for the wrong reasons.
Man,
He definitely will. JR, what do you care to comment?
Son of a bitch.
It's like,
Dude.
oh, you're gonna say that during the women's match? Like, come on, man, have some like awareness, you know?
I know I'm going to push us long here, but let me just say this.
You've already pushed us.
I know. Let me just say this, please. Y'all need to shut the fuck up, right? All you sensitive little fucking bitches out there.
I don't think Brian's saying he's
I'm not saying.
sensitive.
I'm not, no,
he's
I'm
saying
talking
that
Brian.
they're going to give him shit over
I'm not
it.
talking about
Yeah,
Brian.
it doesn't affect me.
I know what Brian said. Brian said
It's not
he's,
like Barbie saying math
I know
is
that.
hard.
Brian said he's going to get shit, and I'm referring to those people who are going to give him shit. Shut the fuck up. You whiny motherfuckers out there. I get you want to be PC, and there's some things that, yes, we should absolutely be PC about. There are some things that absolutely fucking matter when it comes to being correct in the way we speak about things. I am fucking all for that. But there is a level of over fucking sensitivity that y'all motherfuckers need to pull it the fuck up and shut the fuck up. JR is a fucking, he's what's in his 60s, 70s maybe?
Widowed.
He's fucking doing what he's selling fucking barbecue. He's doing what he fucking loves. He's old school. Shut the fuck up. That's what I gotta say.
Bob!
All right. On the board, Brian, did you give both of your marked outs?
No, real quick for NXT, it was during the opening match. Leon Ruff, his dive to the outside, Johnny Gargano completely missed him. I mean, he actually overshot him anyway.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking crazy
Ruff
moment,
overshot him, and Johnny just went down.
Yeah.
Well, you got to put on Ruff for his fucking Top Gun guidance there. He missed the runway.
Yeah.
That's a whole reference for you.
Will Wagner marked out the main event match for NXT, and he said, and Stike has marked out Shotzi's promo. Yeah, that was fire.
I fucking loved it.
Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb for the AEW side for Stike. It's time for some petties. I wanna go first a little bit with these petties. Brian, my AEW petties a little bit directed at you.
Uh-oh.
Fucking FTR, hot as fire now. Anything happening? We had 4 Horsemen tees. Anything happening? They're gone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. I expected that. And my petty town on the other side, this is just a little petty. I know you're keeping them relevant, but all these storylines built tonight, the one thing that stands out to me on the NXT side is Kushida. Where are you going with him? You've given him such a lot of push lately. What's his next step? Rob, Pettytown.
Okay. Let's see. Petty for me, AEW. So Sammy Guevara. Anybody who's ever played blackjack before, your cards aren't a secret, right? They're face down on the table. Everyone will know you have blackjack. You shouldn't have your cards stolen because they're face up on the fucking table.
You flip them.
Right.
Immediately.
Yeah. So that's my petty for AEW. My petty for NXT is a little bit more serious. So let me break into my serious mode real quick. Pat McAfee. His promo skills are good. His talk game is on par. His theme tonight, that everyone is dead. This person is dead. That person is dead. And I know might be ultra sensitive here. But we are averaging, every 2 days, we are averaging a 9/11 in this country. We lost 1,800 people yesterday, died from COVID-19. Perhaps, just perhaps, that a promo about a mass amount of people being dead is a bit insensitive at this time. Maybe at a different time, it's fine. Right now,
You just
maybe
said
not
a second ago that it was being petty for JR to insist that
no,
the kitchen. I feel
that's different. No, night and fucking okay.
Sexism, racism, a lot of these things go hand in hand.
This is night and fucking day. You making a comment that's kind of sexist that, you know, you're an older guy and in your day that was fine to talk about. That's fucking one thing. I can understand it. My grandfather says shit that I'm like, oh, grandpa. He's like, yeah, fuck us, shut up, put your fucking panties up. You know, that's what my grandfather does.
No.
But when we're in the middle of a global pandemic that is killing 1,800 people a fucking day, and you do a promo about this person dead, that person dead, I'm sorry. If I sat through that promo and thought to myself these thoughts, I guarantee I might not be the majority, but I'm not the only one.
Will says because he said it so many times is what he's saying.
No, yeah. If you would have said it one time and then course corrected, fine. I give you the pass. But he
could have been like gone. There's no reason he couldn't have subsequently gone.
Right. But
they're gone. Where you do see them though, they're gone.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly insensitive, and I say that to 240 plus. Why is that funny?
No. Will Wagner on the board. He says for JR to have the equivalent, he would have had to yell titties.
But to say that comment with 240 plus people have died, and that includes all their friends and family attached to that, which makes it well over 1 million people suffering from death in this pandemic, which is real, by the way. I think it was incredibly tone deaf for him to do that promo.
Yeah.
Brian, did you do your petties?
Yeah, I did. On the NXT side, I said it earlier, but I'm just not vibing with the whole August Gray. His name, Anthony Green, on the Indies. I don't know. That's stuck. This one just sounds. It's like another one of those fucking NXT and WWE always have like porn star names. It feels like, and this is just another one. August Gray. That's bullshit.
I'd be okay
and
with titties.
On the
Titties is fine.
AEW side, what the fuck? They're calling the Dynamite when when Mox wrestles Omega. What is it called?
Omega.
Winter is Coming.
Yeah, they're doing
What is that?
Game
That's
of
another
Thrones.
fucking show
Full
I didn't
Game of
watch. What is that
Thrones.
show? The fucking
Game of Thrones.
What is
Game
it?
of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I didn't watch that bullshit. Come on. What the fuck?
You don't watch anything good. We know that.
That's what Baby Yoda's on.
No, he's not. I know that. He's not. I know who's the guy that the
He's
giant
not sure.
guy.
You
The
hear,
wall,
you
not
hear
the
the tone of his voice when he said it's not.
I'm closing my notes.
What's his name?
Who's
The giant guy from that show.
in what?
Game of Thrones.
Frost King.
Oh, the mountain.
No. Mountain.
The Mountain,
Yeah. Is the
yeah.
mountain going to be there?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's Shaq.
True.
Shaq's gonna lose to the mountain. Got it.
Yes. Or Babatunde.
All right, on the board, Pettytown AEW having number 5 ranked. Anna Jay fighting for Sheeta for the title. That's from Stike, and he also said NXT. I would say Thatcher to agree with Rob on Rob's things. Yeah. And Will Wagner seconds Stike's votes. We're reaching the end of our show. If you guys want to tune in to the All Elite Hour, Brian will be releasing it soon. That is a more dissected version of Dynamite. They kind of go over a lot of other things that we don't cover. We kind of mainly stick to storylines here. So check them out. Brian and his cohorts, they rock. That'll be episode number 599. And Monday, we have a new format in place, and it's an anniversary episode. It's number 600.
600.
We are not fucking around. We have gotten to 600. We put out quality programs, 3 shows a week.
And we still ain't making no money.
Come see us at 600. Get your friends to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. That's what we all want for Christmas. And I'm a greedy Jew that wants 8 thumbs up from every one of you so that I get one for each night of Hanukkah.
And if you go down into the comment or into the about segment about this show, you can see our link for Venmo and
Why do you
Cash
keep
App
pointing in the camera?
because it's down below us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's how people on YouTube do it. You can Venmo, Cash App. You can send us a tip if you're just like, yeah, I like these guys. I want
It
to
looks
send
like
you.
you're just pointing at your junk.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us money right now. Can you shut the fuck up? You can just go down there and throw us a Venmo or Cash App down there below the fucking video. If you're on the podcast, whatever. I got nothing.
You're giving up?
No, I mean, they can go to Marked Out Gear and buy a shirt. And no, it's cold. It's fucking cold. Brian, can we get some beanies?
We can get beanies, but since it is getting cold out, you can actually also go to belowthecollar.com.
Oh.
And you can get long sleeve shirts over there. So there's actually some designs that aren't even up on Marked Out Gear. So you can go over there, get some nice long sleeve. That's Pro Wrestling Tees. That's their sister store. So go over there, belowthecollar.com, and just search Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
All right.
Ooh, I just thought of this. I want my holiday promotion to be called 8 Crazy Likes. You got to get 8 thumbs up out there for me somewhere. Come on. That's
Hey,
good.
just a tease for Monday if I can.
Better than your shitty fuck Phil.
What the fuck is that, man? Shit, I had it written down.
Well, good stuff. You open your
Except
notebook.
for
now.
Monday.
So when we do the game, I'm sorry. Just for fun. Our Just for Fun segment next Monday is going to be someone you truly hated in kayfabe before you knew what kayfabe was. That is our topic Monday night for our show. Somebody you truly hated within kayfabe before you knew what kayfabe was.
Who's kayfabe?
Exactly.
All right. Let's wrap this down. Rob made us run long. Who knew?
I had opinions.
But you can come back and tune in, like we said, Monday. Sometime between now and then, you'll get episode 599, the All Elite Hour. And then we'll be back here for 600 on Monday. Thank you guys all for tuning in. We will be back, like I said. So until then, tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
Wear your mask.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast was distributed
Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by YouRecord
so
Studios
hot in here.
and is recorded live from Charlotte,
So
North Carolina.
goddamn hot in here
Subscribe,
from North
follow, and
Carolina.
Listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.